to TCTV. This is Cody Trench.
And my name is Jermaine Hamilton. Floodwaters rushed into New York's subway tunnels and left neighborhood streets across the Northeast looking like rivers. Homes washed off their foundations onto New Jersey state highways. Heavy winds sent power lines and trees crashing to the ground. As they began surveying damage Tuesday, officials said it was impossible to measure the destruction Superstorm Sandy left behind.
I don't think words like catastrophic or historic are too strong to explain the impact. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo said New Jersey Governor Chris Christie described the devastation as unthinkable. Nearly 8 million customers shivered without power in 15 states and the District of Columbia in Sandy's chilly wake. Thousands of people were in shelters, many wondering whether their homes had survived. Sandy claimed at least 30 lives in the United States and 1 in Canada, bringing the total number of deaths to at least 98 after the storm wreaked havoc in the Caribbean. The latest fatality reported was a man crushed by a tree that fell on his car in North Carolina on Monday night, state police said.
This upcoming weekend, today we'll be honoring a few of our best and brightest who showed outstanding academic performances during the 2012 academic semester in the spring. We were lucky enough to get a sit-down interview with our special events coordinator. Now here's Kyler with more.
Thanks, Christian. I'm Kyler Jefferson, and I'm here with Ms. Shirley, the special events coordinator. Ms. Shirley, I understand that there's a special honors convocation this week.
There is one on Friday night at 7 o'clock in Aspen Auditorium.
Okay, and how do you prepare for an event like this?
We first merge all the dean's lists from 2 semesters of last year, and we make the first cut of the list then, and then we add the scholarships, the endowed scholarships that come through from financial services. And then we make a comprehensive list of all of the dean's list students and scholarships. And we send out invitations to all of them, to all of their parents, to all of our boards here at the college, which there's 4, to local officials, and to anyone who's interested in coming. Like, there may be some other folks who used to give speeches at honors convocation. We always include them. And the bishops to the 2 synods. We always invite them.
Okay. How does a student like me get involved with something like this?
Just come up and tell me you're willing to help me. Or have a good GPA and get on the dean's list, and then you're in honors convocation. Right now, I had some help putting the certificates together. They all get put together. The students will sit alphabetically within their class year and pass event. So all the chairs have to be tagged with their name and their year, and then they'll go up and get their certificate with the ribbons.
Okay. Is there any other events you're planning for this year?
There is some at Christmas time. There will be a Founders Day program in February, and then of course commencement. And then there's a lot of little ones dispersed in there. There's a Conspirato concert that will be in March, and I hope some of you folks will come. It's a wonderful, wonderful program. One of our trustees endows that program every year, and we have 2 concerts, one in the fall and one in the spring. And this spring we're doing Apollo's Fire, and they're from Cleveland. So if you can come, it'd be great. It's held down in the chapel.
Okay. Well, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
All right, I'm Kyler Jefferson here. Back to you guys at the news desk.
Kawaka Crownley lives, works, and runs his U.S. congressional campaign out of beat-up white minivan that he often parks overnight at a grocery store on Oahu. In the van's front seat, which is his office, is homemade shelf for his laptop, a copy of the U.S. Constitution, and flurry of index cards that are scattered like confetti after New Year's. On the cards are his ideas and talking points: pro-smoking in bars if the owner wants to allow it, anti-taxes, anti-commuter rail, pro-freedom. Each is written in meticulous penmanship in thick black ink. He's been preparing for a debate. Crownley calls himself the only homeless candidate for a seat in the U.S. House of Representatives. He's proud of that, at least he is now. In the state where most people don't vote, he's using a reality TV type the situation creates to his advantage to draw people who would never have cared about politics into this process.
As inferno spread across the flooded neighborhood of Rockaway Peninsula in Queens early Tuesday, torching at least 80 homes as a potent mix of weather blasted the region, the 2,000 firefighters battled the 6-alarm blaze in a breezy point, which was fed by high winds and made more perilous by downed electrical wires. According to witnesses and local authorities, New York Mayor Michael Bloomberg said at the news conference that the winds were just devastating, blowing from one building to another. By daybreak, emergency personnel and local volunteers could be seen sloshing through flooded streets to put out patches of remaining flames, while others assessed what had been lost. In September, the same area endured severe weather as a powerful cold front brought heavy rain, high winds, and a tornado into the beachfront neighborhood of New York City.
Every few years, there's a new food bad guy in town, and right now it's sugar. Some experts have even declared it a poison that's killing us. Yet, could the sweet stuff people have been eating forever really be so terrible? We actually need sugar. It's our body's preferred fuel, says Dr. David Katz, director of Yale University Prevention Research Center. But we eat too damn much of it. Naturally occurring sugar, which gives fruit, some veggies, and milk their sweet taste, is perfectly healthy. It's as sugar sweetens put in during processing and prep that we need to not OD on it. No need to cut out dessert. The key is to eat strategically, happily. Some major companies are getting on board. In the past 4 years, cereal brands have cut back on sugar. The milk industry recently lowered amounts in the chocolate milk served in schools, and Walmart is aiming for 10% less added sugar in select foods by 2015.
A man wearing an Afghan police uniform shot and killed 2 soldiers with the NATO-led International Security Assistance for in southern Afghanistan on Tuesday. ISAF spokeswoman Amy Henson told CNN, insider attacks by Afghan soldiers and police officers, or militants wearing uniforms, have been on the rise for months. More than 50 people have been killed in Afghanistan in similar attacks this year. The Afghan government calls the killings acts of terrorism. The so-called green on blue attacks have triggered concerns about the stability of Afghan security force ahead to plan the NATO withdrawals in 2014. No more details were immediately available about the gunmen in Tuesday's attack. The dead soldiers were identified as members of the Royal Gurkha Rifles, a British Army regiment. Military sources said the soldiers' next of kin had been informed.
Every Australian child should learn Mandarin, Hindu, or other religious language as the nation's future is tied to the rise of the Asian century, Prime Minister Julie Gillard said in a policy speech on Sunday. Whatever else this century brings, it will bring Asia's return to global leadership, Asia's rise. This is not only unstoppable, it is gathering pace. Gillard said in the long-awaited policy white paper entitled Australia in the Asian Century, the policy outlined 25 objectives Australia must achieve by 2025 to take advantage of Asia's rise to boost the wealth of Australians. Chief among the goals are that every child learn an Asian language, in particular Mandarin, Japanese, Indonesian, or Hindu, and that they leave school having studied Asian culture. The Prime Minister said 100 years ago we spoke of the working man's paradise. Today we speak of the high school, high-wage road, and we always wanted to do it our way.
Yeah. Now let's go to sports.
Lies.
And now on sports, my name is Kendall Ashman, and leading off in sports, we have San Francisco Giants sweeping the Detroit Tigers and completing the World Series on Sunday night with a 4-3 win in the 10th inning. No National League team has swept the World Series since the 1990 Cincinnati Reds, and they are the first team in the National League to win 2 World Championships in 3 years since the 1975-1976 Big Red Machine. Fiorenzo Magni, a bicycle racing champion, died on October 19th in Manazza, Italy, north of Milan. He was 91, and according to Italian Cycling Federation, The cause of the death was an aneurysm. Mr. Magni is a fearless man, and he challenged difficult conditions, earning victories in Europe's most prominent road races, and often described himself as an Italian cycling golden age. Germany will host the Solheim Cup for the first time after the St. Leon Rock Golf Course was awarded the 2015 tournament on Monday, October 29th. The club near Frankfurt has previously hosted the European Tour's Deutsche Bank SAP Open, where Tiger Woods was a 3-time champion. John A. Solheim, the chairman of golf equipment maker Ping, said the Solheim family is thrilled with the selection. Let's go over to the weather.
And thanks, guys. I'm here with the weather. It's 42 degrees right now with a 39 dew point and 89% humidity. And the radar, I mean, you guys know the drill already. It's been raining for the past week, so there's rain all over our area. Now look at the national map. You see the remnants of Sandy moving through our area and moving up towards Canada. Now the highs today, 41 in Franklin, 44 in Meadville, and 43 in Youngstown. Now going to the lows, 36 in Franklin and 37 in Meadville and Youngstown. Now checking out the 7-day forecast, then it's going in the 40s throughout this weekend, and next week it's actually going up to the 50s. So maybe we're going to get some rain, maybe not. So let's take it back to Kara, who has a special severe weather report. Kara?
I'm Kara with a severe weather report on Hurricane Sandy. Here at Teal, it's about 42 degrees, but it feels like it's 35. There's severe winds and freezing rain. Hurricane Sandy just hit the East Coast just days ago, evacuating New York City. Specifically, this hurricane is hitting Philadelphia, New York City, and Boston. Back to you.
Thank you, Liz, and your colorful rain boots. The Mahoning and Shenango valleys are only on the western front of the Franken storm called Hurricane Sandy. That's drenching the eastern seaboard this week. But on Monday, Youngstown was the eye of the superstorm of a political sort of former President Bill Clinton and Vice President Joe Biden, rallied in Youngstown for 4 more years of Democratic leadership by Barack Obama. The president was in Washington monitoring Hurricane Sandy and was replaced at the rally by Biden. Ohio in the center of the universe right now, Mahoning County. Democratic Party Chairman David Beatrice said from the floor of the Covelli Center, minutes before doors open for Monday's rally, and the Mahoning Valley plays a role in who wins Ohio.
Allegheny County Police are asking for witnesses as they investigate the death of a man who was found along the Montour Trail in Findlay Township. According to the police, the body of the 43-year-old Jeffrey Black of Coropolis was discovered near Summit Park Drive shortly before 10 a.m. Friday. Police said either fell or jumped over from an overpass between 9:20 a.m. and 9:54 a.m. Anyone who was on the Summit Park Drive or the Montour Trail around the time and saw the man is asked to call the police at 412-473-1300. Anonymous calls will be accepted. The man was white with dark hair and slenderly built, wearing black jeans and that's all for us. You went trick-or-treating last night?
I did go trick-or-treating last night, and it looked like everyone had a lot of fun.
I didn't get no candy, though.
Yeah, well, you know. But this is Cody Trench.
I'm Jermaine Hamilton.
Holla.